Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying the new pack called Royalty and Legacy. And with that news, I had to figure out how to incorporate my royal family mod to work with the EA system. It has been complicated because I kind of didn't know what to do with a few things, but I think I found a solution. And I will definitely take feedback on how you all perceive this to be. So the only new pack that is now required in this from the new changes is royalty and legacy. You do have the other requirements, make sure you have them. And of course, the recommended downloads, make sure you have those as well. You want to enjoy this mod to me with just all of the parts that come with it. Nothing has changed with the first part. Your sim must have the king or queen trait applied. This is important because it kind of defines who is the leader of the legacy, who's going to issue titles, anoint a patronage, or anything else that comes with being king or queen. So I have chosen Thiago, who is Cordelia's husband. He will be the king, and she is the queen. Now, in my descriptions, they currently read that these are titles for, given to a king or a queen who is born into the royal family. I might change that to where maybe you have a king and you want his wife to be the queen, or maybe you have a queen and you want her husband to be the king. I might change those descriptions to make them more neutral. That way it leaves it up to optional gameplay. But currently, I'm going to play them both as the king and the queen, even though I think Cordelia is the queen in the game, and he has her title by marriage. So you see here, noble title by career, and in her symbology, she comes from a long line of royalty. You see the queen, you see the crowns here, and he comes from royalty too, I think, or is he? I haven't looked through all the titles because I use my own titles, but I think he comes from. You see, it shows here the crowns, but I think he comes from a dynasty, not royalty. He's only the king because she's the queen. So again, I might change those descriptions and make them more neutral. Use them how you want. But for this test purpose, he's the king. Once you have that, you want to move over to the next part, which is very important. This is to add my career. Now, you're going to be confused a little. The game now comes with a noble career, and here it is. Now, you can't have two careers at once unless you are using the unlimited jobs mod that Turbo Driver created. This allows for your sim to be in a noble career and a royal family career gigs at the same time. I recommend this. Okay? You can use either one if you want, but if you want to blend the mods together, you need to use them together. This is a free mod, unlimited jobs that allow Sims to be in a noble career and the career gigs at the same time. I love that. I didn't know recently until that I didn't know until recently that this mod existed. Someone mentioned it to me, and Turbo Driver is actually one of my good friends. So, um, I did not know that that mod existed. So I'm going to show you here. Thiago, I don't think Cordelia is, but Thiago is in the noble career and he's a royal family member. So he can do both at once. And this actually works perfect because you can choose gigs whenever you want to. You don't have to do a gig every day. You can choose them whenever your sim wants to. So you don't have to feel obligated. There's no promotions, for the gigs. So you just come in whenever you want to work. And then he can also work this one. Now these have promotions that come with them and noble duties, or as I like to call it, royal duties. I like the word royal more than noble. That's just my opinion. So you can use these together. You can work when you want to with these, and then use these to bump your way up. I recommend it because then you get all the full perks of the mod. Let me double check here. I'm just gonna bold stuff once I've gone through it. So I want to make sure I go in order. Let's see, announcements. Let's see. I have not made any changes to computer interactions. None. So these are all computer based. Announcement, Royal Family website, issue a letters patent. Nothing has changed. These can be used incorporated together, and I will show you that just so you know that you can use them together. How to find their computer. They didn't have a computer in their household, so I had to add one. Let's go to the second. I think it's on the second floor. Here it is. So you can come in here and hit the computer. More choices, more choices. Royal Communications. Royal Family website, update line of succession, issue a letters patent, announcement, and you'll see some text, like some text changes. That doesn't look right. That looks like that should be announce engagement. So I'll have to make, or maybe I have to look at that closely. Join royal patronages. None of these have changed. You can use these whatever way you want to. And that should say announce engagement. I'm not sure why it's saying announce venture, but I'll make a note of that. Announce engagement is showing as announce ventures. So nothing has changed with that. Royal family greetings. I have made a change with this. I think you're going to like it. Greet Monarch interaction has been updated to use the noble bow. Now they can't greet each other, unfortunately, but it just uses the noble bow. They can't greet each other as monarch because they both technically are a monarch. So whenever you get that, you will be able to um, greet each other using the noble bow. So I think that's actually a fun change. Yeah, it's not going to show up. I don't even see it. All right, we're going to move on. You know what? I wonder if I could have. Let's invite Katrina Caliente over. I want to make sure that the interactions are still showing. Oh, he's got a relationship with her. Here it is, royal family. That's what I wanted to make sure was still working. It's not showing up on Cordelia because she's a king, she's a queen, and he's a king. So we're gonna move on from that. Greet royal family member. Again, I made no change with that. It uses the air cheek kiss animation. Use that how you want to use it. There is no change. And that's one of my favorite interactions personally. I have made no changes to titles. None. None of this has changed. And you can use titles the way you want to. I put them in different categories. The text still appears over their head, which I will show you. Here's the titles menu. You can still use, staff titles, nobility. You can use honorary. You can use consorts. You can use heirs. So it's really up to you how you want to use that. And you can use it whatever way you want, but the titles still appear over their head. As you can see there, king, and as you can see here, queen. So I've made no changes. I didn't see any reason to. Now, with EA system, as you can see in the text here, Queen Cordelia shows under her name. Their son shows crown princess, and he shows as king. So you might see it duplicated, but that's totally up to you how you want to use it. Remove royal titles. Didn't make any change to this either. Let me just make sure. Remove royal title. The only thing is, if a sim loses their title, they may still be in the careers, and you may just have to have them quit the noble career and the royal gigs career. So that hasn't changed. You can still appoint royal staff, as I just showed with Katrina Caliente. Now, here's something that might be of interest to you. Private secretary, appoint as royal advisor. I don't know. Oh, he can't appoint a lady in waiting because he's a man, but she can, and it will. She doesn't know her, so I'm gonna have to cheat real quick and make them friends. Well, at least a little bit of friendship between them. Royal family, titles, staff. Appoint lady in waiting. Private secretary. Now the game now has royal advisors. You can ask any sim to be your royal advisor. So again, use it how you want. In the way I have it, if you appoint a sim a staff title, the text appears over their head. Totally fine. You can use it whatever way you want to. I did not make any change. Royal advisor is still only appointed by the king or queen. Lady in waiting can only be appointed by women, and private secretary appointed by any sim with a royal title. I didn't see any reason um, to make changes, but I did put here. I did add the 3 interactions that come my with my mod that you can use with the noble advisor. So keep that in mind. And here are those 3. You can ask for advice, you can vent about life, you can talk about ventures. You can also now use these on the noble advisors that you add through EA's mod. Like, for example, if I click Cordelia here, or if I click Thiago here, and I think it's under relationship, ask to be noble advisor. If you use EA's interaction, my 3 will still show up. That's my plan. I haven't added it yet, but I will before I release the mod. So that's kind of fun, you know. Remove staff member, nothing has changed. Once you have a staff member from above, a lady in wait, let's say you don't like her anymore, you can remove her as a staff member. Nothing has changed. Becoming king or queen in my game, I haven't had a sim be coronated yet, but in my game, let's just say Thiago was a crown prince and he was waiting for someone to die, and they did die, and now he's king. He would go to the computer and click remove royal title. I don't think it can be seen on him. Oh, yeah, it can't be seen because they are already king and queen. So if you had a crown prince, he could come here and remove current title. It's under the royal communications. This is how it works. And once they do that, the sim gets the head monarch buff. That means they have inherited the throne, which I think is kind of cool. Like I said, I haven't played EA's coronation yet, so I haven't had a chance to see it. But I'm sure they could be blended in together. You just remove current title, add the king or queen trait, then boom, you can do whatever you want in the game. Remove titles or request no titles for kids. Request no titles for kids is an interaction. You can use it how you want. However, as we've learned, a king and a queen's kids are born with the title. He is a crown prince. They're newborn. I don't think there's any way to stop your kids from getting titles. If there is, I haven't seen a way to stop it yet. I can't remember where everything is. I know there's a way to mess with titles. I'm not going to go into it now, but There is a way to go into the Kingdom Manager and recommend titles, but I think you can't leave it blank. So really, that interaction is kind of useless. You can use it more for gameplay reasons. Um, Maybe someone wants to use it to create drama by requesting no titles for their kids, and they say, "Well, your kids are gonna be born with titles anyway." So use it how you want. There's no reason really for me to remove it. There's no change with it. So ask to remove title, same thing. You can ask to have your title removed. Let's say if Thiago was a prince and he wanted his title removed, he could go to the king or queen and ask. And it would likely be granted for his title to be removed. Haven't made any changes to that. Just keep in mind, again, the sim will still be in a career. So their title will exist as long as they are in the career. And you will lose the red text over your head. So when that title goes, boom, optional gameplay. Let's scroll down here. Lot traits. I have made some changes here. I've cleaned up the text a little and made it more Max's related. Least royal residences, royal castles, royal retreat is now the name of the new lot trait. Before it was royal holiday home, which I didn't like. So I changed it. You can add these. Least royal residence, royal retreat, royal castle. Let's just add all three of them. So that way you can see the buffs. Oh, here's the castle one. This castle's beauty and rich history surround me every day. It feels extraordinary to call such a storied place home. Royal grounds from least royal residence. This is one mentions a beautifully appointed home within the royal family's secluded estate, surrounded by elegance and quiet prestige. And then lastly, why am I not seeing the other one? Crown Castle. I'm not seeing the one with the least royal residence. Oh, here it is. Wait, that is it. Least royal residence, royal castle. Oh, the one I'm not seeing is the royal retreat. Oh, I wonder what happened to that one. Make sure. Oh, you know what? I think I know. We had a third one here. That's why it didn't show. It will show this time. All right, royal retreat. Here it is. Royal vacation. I've devoted myself to my royal duties, and now it feels wonderful to step away and enjoy a well-earned retreat. Looks like there's a little glitch between well-earned. So I'm gonna make a note of that. Uh, Royal retreat. Check the typo for well-earned. So those are new. They're not new, but they've been cleaned up to be updated. You will be able to download those, use them how you want. Nothing has changed. I have not made any changes to a patronage. These can be appointed by the king or queen. And the king and queen join them via the royal communications menu, which I showed earlier, but I will show again. Since you are the king and queen, you join every single one of them. So you'll come here, join royal patronage. Now you can anoint a sim to be a patron of whatever you want them to do. I don't know if I can click them on Katrina, but let's see. Oh, I can, even though she's not royalty. I have put mine in categories. Look at all these categories. Let's say you wanted your sim to do something in education, patron of the Education Association. Well, how would that work? You would scroll down here and they could visit the world of Britchester. They can visit high schools. You get custom interactions with, whatever comes with any patron that you are a part of. And it's super cool because they kind of match up with the royal gigs. Like if you were the patron of the angling club, which is the fishing club, It says here the Royal Angling Club is low on angler staff at this time. We need 10 fish. So if you were the patron of the Angling Club, which I love this so much, you would come here, do Royal Family Appoint, and I think it's under environment, and then boom, and then you could come here and do the mission, catch 10 fish. Woo! I love it. It just that's why I love my gigs. I like the noble career too, but I like the gigs because it feels more like duties, and I just like it. So nothing has changed. You can use those whenever you want to, and I got a lot of them, and I'm gonna add some more. So you can be an ambassador. You can be the patron of Finchwick fairs, which I love the fairs in the game. I have not made any changes to the agenda other than text. Before it was discuss future engagements. Well, EA calls it ventures. When you click the sim, Noble Ventures, and there's one, two, three, four, five. I probably will add these to the gigs menu so that way you can get a little bit of credit when you use them. So I did change the text just to match it. Why call it engagements when they call it ventures? And that was part of my updates here. Just thought it'd be, make sense to match it. Discuss future engagements has become discuss future ventures. No changes to the permissions. Use them how you want. Ask for permission to propose. Ask to become non working royal. Ask for baby name approval. Ask to switch careers. Totally how you want to use it. There's no reason for me to get involved. The mods can be blended in together. The Royal Residence Pie menu, no changes. You can still gift Royal Residents, lease them, or revoke them. They work together. Let's see. I don't think I made any changes. No changes to the news. Oh, come on now. No changes to the news category. You can use those as well. No reason for me to make a change. But there will be other options that I didn't include here. If your sim is pregnant or engaged or divorced, you can announce it as news to the king or the queen or your family member or the other royal family members. Crown estate funds, no changes as long as your sim has my titles like the king, the red text over their head, you will still get your funds. The king and queen get 500,000, their spouses get 250,000, and then their kids, whether it be crown prince or crown princess, 100,000, prince or princess, 75,000, duke and duchess, 50,000, earl and countess, 25,000, baron and baroness, 10,000, lady and lord, 10,000, royal highness, dowager, 10,000. The funds still come Monday at 8 a.m., no later than 8:30. You get an in-text notification and a buff when you get those. And there's also a brag about Crown Estate income. Hmm. I got to get an image of the interaction, but it's there. I forgot to clip it last time I saw it. The events most likely will change. I have not had the opportunity to go through the events yet. I have 5 big events: coronation, garden party, tea party, and royal wedding. And there is a royal duty event. Royal duties. These will change. The coronation will most likely blend in with EA's coronation. I have to go through one first before I make changes. Garden party, I'm not sure what will change yet, but I'm pretty sure the cost will change and the image most likely, and possibly some of the goals. Royal duties, I'm like definitely going to change the image, and of course now that the game has more interactions, like you can hold a press conference now. I think it's on level 1. Here it is. Hold press conference, and then you can kind of choose. I would like probably add that to royal duties. You can click give. Well, I guess that hasn't changed. So look for that to be included, like hold a press conference with the royal duties. Royal wedding. I'm not. I'm sure there will be changes with that one as well. It will probably be moved to the wedding events. Let me click it. Wedding events. It probably will be moved to under here. So look for that to change. Tea party, I've already changed. I've changed the image because they released the tea party image, and I think there's a new like tea item where you can like grab snacks. So I will definitely include that as a goal. I mentioned earlier that none of my computer interactions have changed. So this one, where you host a meeting with your Patreon group, um, nothing has changed at all. Aspirations will change. There's actually three of them. For some reason, I have only included two. It should be Royal Family Member, Royal Family Monarch, and Royal Life. I added Royal Life later on, so that's probably why it's not there. But these will definitely change so that way they can fit EA system and mine. So look for those changes. Nothing has changed with text messages. You'll get this message from other your family members who are royals who have titles or who are just part of your family. And if they once they host a meeting with their Patreon group, you still will receive that message. Abdicate the throne. So in my game, it uses a phone interaction. EA's uses the throne chair. I hate this because it's like duplicating. But in my game, when your sim wants to abdicate the throne, they will have to do it twice because you'll have to use the phone interaction. And then once he's abdicated the throne, he's going to have to go to the throne chair. I think it's on the first floor. Yeah, here it is. And then you will abdicate again from the career. So it kind of works out well. You advocate from my system and you advocate from EA system. And how likely is that to happen? I mean, if you really want out of royalty, it's worth it. But totally, you'll have to mix them in together. Um, so if he advocates from the career, he'll still have the red text title over his head. So just do both if you really want to advocate the throne. And I mentioned here that you'll need to use both. Here's the purple message from when you do advocate in my system. It lets you know that you have advocated the throne. So those are the upcoming changes. I thought it would be a little bit more complicated, but once I found this unlimited jobs, I think this is the best way to go about it. Um, is just using them together as one. If you don't want to use them together as one, then you most likely are going to have to pick which system you want to use. I love EA system. I love how their titles work. I'm always skeptical with using the red text because when Sims go in the rabbit holes, they usually get a last exception, which is not damaging towards your game. You can delete it and nothing will happen. It's just telling you, oh, he's going in to a rabbit hole and he's in a situation job. That's what these texts are. Now he can go on a noble adventure. Let's choose political conference, and he can come back without any issues. It will not give you a last exception. This career is pretty much an active open career, so they do not go into the rabbit hole, which is awesome. And with my gigs, you don't go in the rabbit hole. So there's really no reason for the sim to go in the rabbit hole. If they do and you get a last exception, just toss it. I've mentioned this before. It's not game breaking. It's letting you know, hey, he's technically a job already with the red text over his head. Why is he going to two jobs at the same time? So I think this will be a good system. You can use them together and enjoy them. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, I would recommend you come to my Discord, which I'm going to show off here in a minute, and hit support tickets and you put in a ticket. That's the best way to reach me. I usually keep Discord open all day, all night. I hear the little ping sound, then boom, I check it. But I think this will be a good way to, like I said, work them together. I'm going to get the new update up. And then slowly but slowly, I will work to update the king and queen traits, getting the lot traits up, getting the events updated, and the aspirations. This is a big mod. This is probably the biggest mod system outside of my celebrity system. And by the way, make sure when you update the Royal Family mod that you do update everything else, like the work interactions. I don't know if that's still needed though. I gotta check because I switched around my interactions and moved them under the Royal Communications pie menu, but if you use any of my mods, I would have the XML injector. I'm gonna wait for him to come back to show you that the LE will not come up. Let's see, I'm gonna go, oh, I skipped it. Career. Oh look, answer Royal Family career emails. Answer Noble career emails. Interesting. And boom, he comes back without any issues. Love that. Oh, this was a very cool message. Return from Noble Venture. I wish they had called it Royal Venture. I don't like the word noble, but I get why they did. Uh, the only thing I will say is sometimes when Cordelia has the gigs career, it did generate a last exception, and it said it was something to do with promotions. I reached out to the creators of Unlimited Jobs to see if there's something we can do to fix that issue. If you do get that last exception, you can let me know, and then I can just give you an update whenever I hear something back. All right, that's it. Thank you for listening, watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.